Well, hello everyone. Today is Thursday, technically, for all intents and purposes. It's Thursday, let's not question it. It's Thursday. I'm still here, haven't moved, still enjoying my delicious Malbec wine. And so, as you already know, we are in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Should I say that or should I just say Buenos Aires, Argentina? I always have a difficult time trying to figure out which way to go. Do I want to go with the more proper pronunciation of Buenos Aires? Or should I just, for the sake of keeping it, keeping the flow, just go to Buenos Aires? I don't know. You'll probably hear me say both. I hope you don't find either one of them obnoxious in any way. So Thursday was an interesting day because I was still reeling from do I want to say that? No, I was still just feeling a little tired. And not just like physically tired. Clearly I was physically tired, but mentally tired. I, as you guys know, flew overnight on Tuesday to get here Wednesday morning. And my second flight from Bogota to Buenos Aires was so uncomfortable. And Wednesday, again, I was still groggy and sleepy and just kind of confused, but Thursday was really when I woke up and I felt achy. My body ached. And so, my legs and my glutes, my lower back, like everything just ached a little bit. And it just, it took me a while to get up. Again, like even though I went to bed relatively early Wednesday night, still didn't get up until almost like well into the morning, like almost noon-ish. Maybe not quite, but still. And again, I didn't really get anything done or organized Wednesday. Like I hadn't even unpacked or anything. Just, I was still feeling very confused. I don't know if confused is the right. I feel like I'm having a difficult time explaining myself today. Not necessarily confused, just out of it. Like still trying to get my bearings, trying to figure out what it is that I was doing, what I needed to do. And so Thursday was basically that in the morning, trying to figure out like, what should I do today? While at the same time, just feeling like everything hurts. I don't feel like doing anything. My motivation was really bad. Very early on, I decided I can't try to figure anything out today. I didn't even bother trying to like do this. I didn't feel good. Things didn't feel good. And again, being in that position made me feel very cravey. And the moment I landed here, it's like all these memories, all these memories of food that I normally have when I am here start coming back. And I was like, oh, I really want to have that for lunch. And so we ended up going out to lunch, and we went to a really good Vietnamese restaurant that I like here in Buenos Aires. It's called Saigon. Let's see. Started out with some of these little like spring rolls. They're like fried spring rolls, got like a rice paper wrap thing. They're filled with like a minced pork type thing. Again, they're carby, or I guess not super carby, but somewhat. But yeah, that was that, and you get these lettuce leaves and some mint leaves, and you're supposed to like do like a little wrap, like a little burrito. It's really good. And then I had these rice noodles with beef. And so it's like these rice noodles in a brown sauce, beef, garlic. You got like these like scallions, some mint leaves, cilantro, peanuts. Again, as far as having something, like eating out and not being, super careful with the macros and all that. Not a terrible choice. I mean, of course, we could have done a little bit better, but not horrible. And so that was basically what I ended up having for lunch. And, yeah, the rest of the day was, I don't want to say a waste, because I don't think it was a waste. It was just trying to figure out like what to do. I couldn't figure out like what to do. And I didn't really feel like doing anything. And it's a weird thing because the more I didn't do, the more I felt like I needed to do something. And the more I didn't feel like doing it because there was a lot of pressure. So that was basically it for the day. I didn't do anything else. I tried to unpack a little bit, but I wasn't very successful. The apartment was not quite set up in the way that I want it to, because this is a short-term rental, so it's furnished. You know, this is none of this. I mean, some of these things are mine, but most of the furniture and stuff is not mine. It's just, you know, the apartment, and so I wanted to start thinking about the things that I was going to need to like try to be set up. You know, I am going to be here at least until August. So there was part of me that felt like, oh, I need to get started, but I also felt like there were so many things that I needed to figure out in order to get started. And that's something that I guess we're going to have to figure out, or at least I would like to figure out a way to get set up faster and to be able to do like a more bare bones, but, you know, up and running approach to something like this when we're taken out of our environment, or, you know, I don't know, when you're on vacation. So that was a little tricky, trying to figure out that portion of it. And I started thinking about it. So I was trying to unpack a little bit and try to get a little bit organized and figure out where things were going to go and how I was going to set up the apartment, because I'm thinking that I would like to work from here, from home, as opposed to last year when I was here, I was basically going to like a co-working space, but prices here have increased quite a bit. And I don't know if you guys have seen anything in the news, but Argentina is going through a weird they've had a weird economy for the longest time, for decades. You know, it's one of the countries with the highest inflation rate in the world. But the last year, basically, in the last really few months since the new president took over, have had this really weird financial situation where the only way that I've been able to describe it since I got here is like the Wild West. Some things prices are through the roof. Some things are basically the same. And so yeah, getting back to what I was saying, last year I was going to a co-working space because it wasn't that expensive, it was affordable, and it was comfortable enough, and to me it felt like it was worth it to get me out of the house and stuff. But I did notice last year, I was trying to do this. I've been trying to eat healthier. You guys know this. And so I was trying to do this, I guess not with the same level of commitment. I was trying to do it. And I did notice that being in an office environment was a little bit trickier and less flexible when it came to food throughout the day. And so for that reason, also because, you know, co-working spaces are not as affordable anymore, I thought, well, I have a decent amount of space here and I can get set up with a desk. And instead of, you know, paying into a co-working space, I can get a desk chair for a lot less than I would pay, you know, for like 2 weeks in a co-working space. And so that way I could have like a comfortable chair to do my work, you know, edit these videos and all that. And it was, I decided to do that. But then that sort of meant that I needed to set this up in a different way. And so I kind of started thinking about that on Thursday, while at the same time not really feeling like doing anything, not really wanting to do anything, and therefore not really wanting to, not only not wanting to pay more attention to my diet for that day, but just still feeling like I want to eat whatever I want to eat. And I try to be mindful and stuff, and that's why like going to this restaurant felt like a good compromise, still something that I wanted, but it wasn't going to be, you know, outrageous. at least not yet. And so that was it. It was just, again, kind of a weird day, still getting the hang of things. And yeah, it's not easy. Like, I think that I have always underestimated how difficult change is for me. And before, I guess, because I wasn't being as mindful of my day-to-day, what I was eating, how I was feeling, all of those things, it didn't feel as chaotic, I guess, as difficult. But now that I'm trying to be a little more mindful, I'm trying to be, pay attention to, my mood, my cravings, like all these things that are related to trying to become a healthier person, I realized that I have severely undermined how difficult it is for, to make a move like this. And so it's, these are the lessons that I'm learning these days. But that was basically it for Thursday. So like I said, you guys, I'll be here all week. Don't forget to come back tomorrow and we'll keep this going. All right. See you then.